Okay, tech workers. So the idea here is to have quick stretches and movements to do throughout your workday to nourish your joints and muscles. So here we go. So the first stretch is trunk rotations. These are pretty straightforward. You want to keep your head fixed straight ahead and then just rotate your body towards one side versus the other. What I'm doing here is that I'm hooking my hands onto my thigh and the back of the chair and then rotating towards one side and then the other. So this is another way to go, one way to go through trunk rotations. You can go through trunk rotations with also driving with your hands. If you want, you can keep your head fixed straight ahead. Sometimes it's also good to rotate the head as well, since your neck seems to stay in place when you are in front of the computer all day. The other way you can drive your hands is also, again, reaching backwards as you rotate through your upper back. So these are all ways to get moving and drive a bit more rotation throughout your workday. This, I usually suggest people to do it hourly or more than that if your body seems to be sensitive already, but hourly for about 40 seconds each time you do this, and just find the best way that you like to do this trunk rotation, either with a hand driver or with hooking your hands on your thigh and the back of a chair to go through the trunk rotation. So that'll be the first stretch that you should do hourly throughout your workday when you're sitting in front of the computer. The second stretch, and now that I have your attention, is to drink a ton of water. Okay, so I realize that this isn't a stretch, but I can argue that it is. I've already mentioned in other videos already, but drinking a ton of water will help you get up and away from the computer a bit, hopefully hourly, to go use the bathroom. And this is another way to, again, get moving through your joints and your spine and your muscles to help nourish your whole body, so you don't become stagnant in one place and constrain the body in a position where it becomes sensitive and prone to constrained injury. Okay, so the third one, which is actually a stretch, is pretty much trying to facilitate a bit of thoracic extension by reaching forward and driving the hands up and back. Now when I do this, you'll notice that my thoracic spine goes into a bit of extension. Try to keep your head in a neutral position. Right now I'm looking down at a 45-degree angle as I reach up and overhead. Again, this is another great exercise to, again, nourish your thoracic spine and nourish your arms. You won't believe how many people develop thoracic tightness, so they eventually, over a period of time, lose the ability to extend through their thoracic spine. And you won't believe how many people become tight over here because their arms are down by their side all the time. So this is a very useful stretch to do, again, hourly for about 40 seconds. So that would be the third stretch that I would recommend you to do hourly. Now you may have already guessed, the fourth stretch is side bending while you're in a sitting position. So side bending, reaching up and then side bend to one side, and then reach up and side bend to the opposite side. So you want to do this again for about 40 seconds hourly, and this would be another way to get you moving through your upper spine. I also really like it when you do this stretch, and I think it's better to do this stretch when you're standing as well. Right now I'll be off camera if I do complete sit up, but if you stand up a little bit and then side bend one way and then the other, this will also help open up your hips a little bit more here. So if you have the means to just get up quickly, right now I'm in a wide split stance here, so it allows me to open up the hip a little more. You don't have to get into as wide a stance. You can narrow your stance a little bit, but the idea here is to just move as much as possible. So this will help drive, again, for a little bit more frontal plane motion in your thoracic spine or in your spine in general. And if you stand up and do this, it will help open up your hips as well. So yeah, make sure you peep other videos that I have about stretches that you should do before you start your work and then at the end of your work days, which are extremely helpful. These are stretches that you should do during your work day to keep your body as loose and as nourished as possible. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, I definitely appreciate a like, and I'll see you in a few days.